player hails Napoli on its performance in Champions League. The federal government has repatriated no fewer than 150 stranded Nigerians from Niger Republic. The Minister of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development, Abuja, Sadiya Umar Farouk, stated this while receiving the returnees at the Aminu Kano International Airport. She said the exercise was conducted in collaboration with the International Organization for Migration and the Economic Community of West African States. The Central Bank of Nigeria has insisted that in line with the directive of President Muhammadu Buhari, only the old 200 naira notes are to be reissued and circulated concurrently with the redesigned naira notes. The Central Bank, in a statement issued by both CBN Deputy Governor Corporate Services Edward Adamu and CBN Director Corporate Communications Mr. Osita Nwanisobi, said the bank is working with the law enforcement agencies to investigate, apprehend, and prosecute the purveyors of the fake news. The central bank therefore urged members of the public to ignore a contrary report purportedly from the Apex Bank to the effect that the president had approved the issuance and release of old 500 naira and 1,000 naira notes as legal tender in the country. The Police Service Commission has announced the removal of Najatu Muhammad as the Northwest Coordinator of the Commission for Election Duty in the February 25 and March 11 general polls. The Police Service Commission spokesman Ike Chukwuani, in a statement, said the Commission is committed to free and fair elections and will continue to contribute its quota to the sustenance of democracy. He said the Assistant Inspector General of Police, Bawa Lawal, who is from the same geopolitical zone that Najatu is from, will take over the coordination of the monitoring of police conduct in the zone. Najatu's replacement followed a protest by the Presidential Campaign Council of the All Progressives Congress rejecting her appointment. Justice John Omotosho of the Federal High Court in Abuja has dismissed a suit seeking the removal of the Inspector General of Police, Usman Alkali Baba, as the Inspector General of Police. The suit was instituted against President Muhammadu Buhari and four others by an Abuja activist, Michael Idoko. In his judgment, Justice Omotosho invoked Section 7 of the Police Act 2020, which put the tenure of office of any Inspector General of Police at 4 years. The judge held that the retirement of the IGP from the Nigeria Police Force has nothing to do with his appointment, on the ground that the 4 years tenure is sacrosanct. Nigeria Investment Promotion Commission has commenced the development of a well-coordinated investment promotion ecosystem as mandated by its Establishment Act to ensure government and non-government investment promotion players are able to undertake mutually reinforcing and complementary roles to attract, retain, and grow investment in Nigeria. The Executive Secretary, NIPC, Saaratu Umar, stated this during the NIPC Stakeholders Engagement Forum and the business dinner with the diplomatic community in Abuja. She said this became necessary as the Commission strategized to increase national attractiveness and branding and to position Nigeria as a constant preferred investment destination of choice, adding their strategies to deepen the investment promotion drive of Nigeria and the day-to-day problem solving for established and incoming investors were being put in place. Into other matters, the Road Transport Employees Association of Nigeria has called on all its members across the country not to allow themselves to be used by any politician. Briefing journalists in Abuja on Monday, the executive president of the association, Dr. Musa Akobi, said none of the association members must be used to delay or destroy the elections in Nigeria come 2023.
Cast a vote of confidence on him, on his leadership as a sole presidential candidate on our next coming election is because of the record, his track record, right from the Lagos state where he has served as a chairman of that state for years, and he has made the Lagos state as a good place to be proud of in the association as of today.
Meanwhile, the National Executive Council has also passed a vote of confidence on Akobi-led administration and has declared Musa as their sole candidate for the April 2023 association's election. He also applauded the association for doing everything within its power to see that the right thing be done. And he also applauded NEC for their endless support for his patron and administration. Management of the Nigerian Railway Corporation has denied the report on social media platforms. The corporation does not accept electronic transfer and old naira notes for train boarding ticketing at various points and various passenger train stations, especially the Lagos-Ibadan train service and Warri-Takpe train service. In a statement issued and made available to newsmen by the NRC, that's the Nigerian Railway Corporation, the Deputy Director of Public Relations, Yakub Mahmouda, said that we're all aware of the currency policy introduced by the federal government, which redesigned some denominations of the naira notes that are being gradually swapped with the old naira notes, pending when the transition from old to new will be completed. He explained that they only accept physical cash across the counter for train boarding, with the naira notes approved as legal tender by the government. So a bit of politics now. As Nigerians are warming up for the 2023 elections, the Diaspora Directorate of the All Progressives Congress Presidential Campaign Council has said that about 1.6 million Nigerians in diaspora are coming back home to vote the presidential candidate of the APC, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Addressing a press conference at the APC National Headquarters in Abuja, the Director, Diaspora Directorate, APC Presidential Campaign Council, Ade Omole, who gave the assurance, explained that more than 1.6 diaspora Nigerians with permanent voter cards will be voting during the polls, highlighting the achievements of the Directorate since the commencement of campaign activities. Ade Omole, who is also the leader of APC United Kingdom, revealed that the Directorate had agreements with some major foreign airlines to grant discounted airfares to Nigerians who are returning home for the elections in respect of their party affiliation or irrespective of their party affiliations.
From our last research, there are over 1.6 million Nigerians with PVCs living outside Nigeria, but they've come down here. They've actually registered and they have their PVCs. So there are Nigerians, progressives, supporters of Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu with PVCs coming back home to vote for him. The last research confirms it's over 1.6 million Nigerians. That's probably more than a state within the Federation of Nigeria.
And ahead of Saturday's elections, Africa Democratic Congress, ADC, has endorsed the Labour Party presidential candidate as its preferred candidate. Endorsing Peter Obi, ADC Board of Trustees Chairman Mani Ibrahim said Peter Obi stands out among other presidential candidates and would get the support of the party.
Other leaders of the party, we have decided that the Obi-Dati movement is a worthy cause to endorse. Today, we form this Star Alliance for one purpose only: to ensure a loud and a resounding victory.
And on his part, the Labour Party National Secretary Malam Umar applauded the good gesture of the ADC.
That the leadership of the African Democratic Congress have shown to the nation by molding their support for the presidential candidature of the Labour Party presidential candidate, Mr. Peter Obi.
A chieftain of the ruling All Progressives Congress, Senator Smart Adeyemi, says the Central Bank of Nigeria rollout on the new Naira notes is a calculated attempt to ridicule the party in the eyes of the citizens. Speaking to newsmen after purchasing the governorship expression of interest and nomination forms at the APC National Secretariat in Abuja, the Kogi West senator claimed that Emefiele is working for his cousin, Ifeanyi Okowa, the vice presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, in order to achieve their objective. The former president of the Nigeria Union of Journalists insisted that the presidential race is between the APC presidential candidate and his Labour Party counterpart, Peter Obi, stressing that the PDP candidate, Atiku Abubakar, is not a force to reckon with.
They now know why you're having this problem. Why do you think a ruling party will work against the interests of the people who were asked to vote to take us back? Ashua is a visionary leader, a man of strength, great strength of character, intelligence, humility, and yet with a lot of courage. Shetima is not just a politician. Shetima is one of the intelligences in politics. Shetima is a scholar.
Africa Union Development Agency New Partnership for African Development has begun a nationwide campaign on voter education to discourage vote buying, to also foster free and fair elections and post-election crisis management. The National Coordinator, African Peer Review Mechanism, Princess Gloria Akobundu, during the nationwide workshop on effective implementation of the National Program on Action and Sensitization and Awareness Campaign on Violence-Free Elections, said the move is part of the mandate and framework of National Program of Action for Alda Nepad. And she also said one of the 5 pillars of the African Union Development Agency and African Peer Review Mechanism is to promote democracy and the good governance in Nigeria and Africa at large. You're listening to Citizen FM 93.7 News. And out of the foreign scene, United Kingdom has advised critical stakeholders and political parties to ensure a violence-free poll. The UK's Minister of State for Development and Africa, Andrew Michel, gave the advice in a statement. Michel noted that the UK and its government remain committed to supporting credible and inclusive elections, which are fundamental to the continued democratic growth across the globe and to the future of regional and global democracy. He, however, urged political party officials to respect electoral laws and institutions and to avoid hate speech. And now to sports. World record holder and Nigerian 100 meters hurdle star Tobi Amusan and the Qatar 2022 World Cup winner Lionel Messi have been shortlisted for the 2023 Laureus World Cup Awards. This was announced on the Twitter handle of the official site. Amusan, who was shortlisted in the World Breakthrough of the Year category alongside tennis star Carlos Alcaraz. The Qatar 2022 World Cup semi-finalist Atlas Lions of Morocco, American figure skater Nathan Chan, and American professional golfer Scott Scheffler. Lionel Messi and Kylian Mbappe will go head-to-head in pursuit of a trophy once more, as the pair are among the nominees for the prestigious Laureus Sportsman of the Year award. And finally, former Chelsea player and Dutch legend Ruud Gullit has named Napoli as a favorite club to win the 2022-2023 UEFA Champions League. Gullit said that Napoli are a completely different team this season, adding that they attack and pass very quickly. Napoli have been in sensational form so far this season, both in the Champions League and in the Serie A. And that's about the size of the news tonight. But before we go, we look at stories that made headlines. CBN urges general public to ignore the fake news on Naira notes circulation. Nigerian Railway Corporation has denied rejecting electronic transfers from passengers. And we told you from the world of sports, the former Chelsea player has held Napoli on its performance in Champions League. The Citizen FM News at 6 is edited by Aisha Shuaibu Badegi. To listen to us online, please visit citizenfm.ng. I am Didiana. To stay with us, Super Citizen at Sunset continues in a bit.
Looking for the best in news updates? Yeah, man. Listen to Citizen FM 93.7 Abuja. Now listen. News on the hour. 7 a.m., 8 a.m., 9 a.m., 10 a.m., and 11 a.m. 1 p.m., 2 p.m., 3 p.m., and 5 p.m. News at noon, 12 noon. News from across the states, 4 p.m. And our major news at 6 p.m. Citizen FM 93.